It is often said that pretty hurts, and while being beautiful or attractive is good because you get attention and feel confident in your own skin, which is good for your mental health. However, with attention comes the uncomfortable and unwanted looks that make you feel violated without being touched. Wagwan people, welcome back to the channel. Today, we have a young lady feeling uncomfortable at her home because her uncle is looking at her like he wants to be with her in a way uncles shouldn't be with their nieces. So, before we get into the story, please, for me, subscribe to the channel and like the video to learn more about human nature and how it affects relationships. Without further ado, the letter to the pastor reads.
Dear Pastor, I have been reading your column since I was 8 years old. Continue to do your good work by helping others. I am now 18 and I have a boyfriend who is in his 30s. We had sex, however, I protect myself. I have an issue. From about 2 weeks after me and my boyfriend had sex, my period came and it has not stopped. Now, I have been bleeding for the past month and a half. Whenever my boyfriend fingers me, I bleed. I honestly think something is really wrong with me. My parents are overseas living with my younger siblings, and I am living with my grandparents and an uncle. Whenever I wear shorts in the house, I see my uncle looking at me in a different way. I try not to focus on that too much. But, I really do not know what to do, so please tell me what to do. I really need your advice. I can't talk to any of my relatives because they will tell my parents. I don't trust not even one of them, and that is the reason I have written to you. Name withheld.
Dear writer, first of all, you say you are 18 years old. The only thing that I can commend you for is that you didn't have unprotected sex with this man. But I cannot encourage you to continue having sex with him. I am sure that you have told this man about the problem you are experiencing and he has continued to finger you. This is not a good man, because he should know that from the time you told him that you were bleeding for so many weeks, he should have given you money to go to the doctor instead of coming around and playing with your vagina to get his kicks. So please tell this man to get lost and please seek medical attention. Concerning your uncle who is looking at you in a provocative manner, I do not think you should ignore his behavior. You should not ignore those looks. If he makes any attempt on you, please report the matter to your grandparents immediately. Do not ignore what I have said in my reply to you, and please write to me again or contact me by phone 876-877-1009. Pastor.
Well, based on what the writer says, I cannot be quick to say that the uncle is a bad man for looking at her. The look may not necessarily be a lustful one, but due to her being hyper-aware of her body, she might interpret the looks as lustful in nature. However, in the case he is truly looking at her lustfully, that uncle needs to leave that house before he does something he will definitely regret. What he should have done instead of looking at her was to tell her to change. I understand some people may not agree with this because they believe that a girl should be able to wear anything she feels like wearing. However, there is a saying that goes like this: prevention is better than cure. So, even though the writer can wear anything she wants, sometimes you have to stop something to increase your chance of safety. For example, if someone is passing through a bad neighborhood, they are free to wear their expensive jewelry, but not because they can means that they should. Sometimes we have to put feelings aside and exercise wisdom. If that does not work, then I would advise her to confront the uncle because he is being creepy. I know guys are visual creatures, but if you realize that just by looking, you make a girl uncomfortable, look away, especially if she is related to you. You will catch a case, and if you are truly guilty, you deserve everything that comes with it. So, do not be that guy. As for the boyfriend now, he is in his 30s, but he seems to be immature and irresponsible because no way the writer was bleeding for as long as she was and his only interest was to fondle her. That's crazy. I hope she gets the medical attention she needs. Anyway, let's check out these comments.
DMW hits us with the first comment: while your mode of attire is not an excuse for unwanted attention, please stop wearing the shorts around your uncle since this seems to turn him on. You should tell your parents how you feel about your uncle. As it relates to your bleeding problem, you probably got a tear inside your vagina from having sex with this big old man who is not giving it time to heal. I would suggest that you seek medical attention. Tell your mother that you wish to go to the doctor and do not ask this man for money, or else he is not going to stop doing what he is doing. He does not care for you, otherwise he would have sent you to the doctor. The saint added, whatever you do, do not have sex with your uncle. Times really change, family members want to sleep with each other. Sick. Mike B also added, well, here's a thought. If you are uncomfortable with the way your uncle looks at you when you wear shorts, how about not wearing shorts around him? Or, possibly tell him that his inappropriately wandering eyes are making you uncomfortable. He is your uncle, right? So telling him that ought to make a difference. Anyhow, you should go to see your primary care physician about the month-long bleeding. That is not normal. Even though you said you protected yourself, and that it could mean you are not pregnant, yeah, you don't want to have your period going on for so long. You lose blood, you lose iron, you lose energy, etc. I would also advise against your boyfriend fingering you until you get checked out. Did he not cut his nails? Are his fingers and nails clean? Did he not wait long enough for you to be wet? Was he being too rough? So many questions you need to seriously ask before engaging in anything sexual at this point. All the best. Vernal commented, young lady, call your parents, you need funds to make an appointment to see a doctor ASAP. What is wrong with these quote-unquote men? This 30-year-old and your uncle. Are there any relatives you can stay with? As you should not ignore your gut feelings about your uncle, and please concentrate on your books, education, and skills are the keys. Free to Speak added, I have two things to say. 1. Her so-called boyfriend is using her for sex. If she ever gets pregnant, he will be nowhere to be found or insist that she get an abortion. 2. She should change her mode of dress. Relative or not, it is not a good practice to expose your body. Can we talk too replied to Free to Speak, there are way too many women who refuse to believe that their mode of dress is their calling card advertisement, and we're all visual creatures. It is what it is, so hey. Don't shoot the messenger. Free to Speak replied to Can we talk too, that's right. Jamaican females copying Americans. In America, females in shorts can be seen at universities, at any Walmart, at the mall, etc. It's normal. But it seems some or most men in Jamaica can't resist. And the last comment comes from Lady D, put on a flower bag when you know your uncle is coming to your house.
Well, based on these comments I guess I didn't give the writer bad advice. But I really hope the uncle does not try to touch her, because even if she looks really good, the writer is still his niece, and it makes no sense for a man to go after a girl who does not want him. If he touches her, things will only get ugly and the writer may start to dislike men, and we do not need that. Anyway guys, what do you think about this story? Is the writer just imagining things, or is it possible the uncle is really looking at her lustfully? What would you advise her to do? Do you disagree with the advice given to her? Comment below, you might help someone out who is in the situation. And while you're there, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check out another video on the channel. Thank you for watching, I'll catch you in the next one, love.